So in each of these buckets, we are going to set 3 to 4 high-level goals max. Any more than that, and I know I'm already setting myself up to fail. And so I think about these in high-level goals that I want to achieve. Welcome to Girls Make Bank, the podcast show for women who want to learn the art of selling for business and for life. I'm Jack White, seasoned sales professional, entrepreneur, and owner of Honeybees Group. Come back each week to hear inspiring stories from some of our favorite business owners. Learn how to take the ache out of selling and make bank. We're all in this together, so let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Girls Make Bank. Happy New Year. This is our first episode of 2026. And we're going to do something a little bit different. I have heard from a lot of people, and I am feeling it myself. We are only in the middle of January, and some of us have not set our 2026 goals yet. And so if you are in that bucket, I am in that bucket, and you are already feeling behind because you have not set your goals yet, I want you to stop right there. I want you to realize that you are not, in fact, behind. I'd argue that the middle of January is actually the exact right time to be resetting, setting for the first time, looking at the goals that you maybe set for yourself in the fall, and evaluating those goals for the year. And here's why. Every year, I feel like there is this cultural pressure to have everything figured out before Thanksgiving or before the holidays roll into town. You need to be reflective, strategic, but then between Christmas and New Year's, you have to also be present with your family. You have to be productive. You have to be well rested. You have to be inspiring on Instagram. You have to set 500 goals. You have 17 holiday events all at once. For me, the time between Halloween and New Year's really feels like I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I'm not really goal setting. I'm trying to get everyone fed. I'm trying to keep the train on the rails and moving forward. So, really, my prime ideal time to reflect and start thinking about the next year is early to mid October. That's when I typically look back on the year, see where I'm at, and map a plan for the rest of the year into the following year. There's something about the fall energy, the space between holidays or before the holidays really kick off. It's my favorite time to pause, recalibrate, ask myself what's working and what I want to achieve in the year ahead. But if October slips by, November's a blur and December is pure chaos. And so I, this December, really decided not to beat myself up about it. That come January and when we were back in school and sort of in our routine, right now, basically, I was going to focus on setting my goals. So this is my second favorite time to plan because I've had space. I sort of resigned myself to the fact that, Christmas and New Year's were going to be just about the family and just relaxing and enjoying each other's company. That's what I needed. Now I'm recharged. I am ready to go. And so I'm walking into 2026 not feeling like I'm behind. I'm breathing. I don't want to feel like I'm late, but I want to still set myself up for a really fantastic year. So if you are in that bucket, let's do it together. And this episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to workshop it with you. So if you're listening, tag this and come back. And if you're watching, you can pause and maybe follow along. So this is how I think about setting my goals for myself and in my business. I am going to I pull this right out of my printer. It's an 8.5 by 11 white loose leaf or printer piece of paper. And I fold it into 4 quadrants because I create goals in 4 different buckets. For me, this makes it easy to compartmentalize, to focus on things that relate to my personal life, to my relationships, to my business, and to my money. And for me, those are my four big buckets. And so I just fold it into quadrants so that I have four different sections of the paper. Okay, so we have our four quadrants here. And let's talk about why four buckets. Okay. We don't want to set too many goals that go into too many different directions because then nothing gets done. We want to be specific so that we can have some clarity and focus. So, in each of these different buckets, we'll talk about how to set goals, but we don't want to have like a list of 100 different things to do. Okay. So, let's talk about the four buckets. The first one is personal growth and learning. The second bucket is family and relationships. So I'm just writing each of these down as sort of a header with my chicken scratch on each of the quadrants. The third bucket is work and business. And then the fourth bucket is money and dreams. Now, I'm pretty old school. I like to, when I'm doing things like this, take pen to paper. It helps me sort of lock things in. It's the way I learn, it's maybe how I grew up. If you prefer to do things digitally, by all means, I typically start on paper and then move into digital. That's just the way it works for me. Do whatever is best for you. But the idea is four buckets. So, why four buckets? We do not want to have too many goals going in too many different directions, or else nothing gets done. We want clarity, we want focus. So, in each of these buckets, we are going to set 3 to 4 high level goals max. Any more than that, and I know I'm already setting myself up to fail. And so I think about these in high level goals that I want to achieve. When I do my quarterly planning sessions, I'll break these goals down even more. So we'll create micro goals, we'll create systems, we'll try to build habits. But for right now, let's stay big picture. Okay, so let's walk through each of these buckets and create our goals. So let's start with personal growth and learning. I've been looking into triple compounding as just a part of what I'm trying to learn and grow. And one of the biggest areas, especially as an entrepreneur, where you can help expand your earning capacity is by investing in yourself. And so this first bucket is really the you bucket. What do you want to learn or explore this year? Maybe there's a hobby that you've been wanting to try or a course that you've been taking. Maybe it's something related to fitness, health, mental health, weight loss, your physical health, whatever it might be. Or maybe you are just finally doing something that makes you feel like you again. Okay. So pick 3 to 4 personal goals that you want to achieve. And I'm going to write mine down and you do the same. So once we have done that, we are going to move on to our family and relationships. Now, this is where I think we can get really intentional. This bucket is huge and it's often overlooked. So, this is really about how you want to show up in your relationships this year. That could be with your partner, your kids, your parents, your friends. Are there people that you want to connect with or reconnect with? Are there boundaries that you need to set? What rituals or rhythms do you want to create to actually make time for meaningful relationships in your life? And so, again, create 1 to 4, I'd say 3 to 4 goals here in this. So, for me, my personal goals and learning for this year, where I want to focus on growth and development, is I want to run a half marathon. I ran a half marathon. It has to be maybe 12 or 15 years ago. And the process of training for that marathon really helped me get focused and disciplined in how I was taking care of myself. I had never felt better aside from when I was pregnant. I never felt better than when I was training and stronger for that half marathon. And so now I am 46 this year. So I would like to do that and see how it feels on my body. My second goal is to attend mass 2 times a week. As a family, we go on Sunday. I have been really digging into my faith a lot more. And so I would like to add a weekday mass into my schedule. My third personal growth and development goal is to make sure that I am reading one book a month. I've always been an avid reader, and I have started to replace scrolling on social media with reading over the past few years. And I think it's just a way to kind of zone out and decompress. And over the past month, I have intentionally tried to pick up books instead of scrolling. And I can tell you that I am sleeping better, I am less stressed, and it just feels like a much better habit than picking up my phone and scrolling. And so for me, if I can commit to one book a month, it gives me something to grab onto. Okay, so you decide for yourself what your personal growth and learning goals are. My second bucket is family and relationships. So here are my goals for family and relationships. Last year, my husband and I implemented a date night. We try to do it weekly, and it has been one of the best things for our relationship. I stopped working for a company and started working for myself when our son was born. I still am the primary caregiver. My husband works for a corporation. And so we just fell into this routine of really not finding time for ourselves. I think this is really common. A lot of the women that I talk to also experience this. And at some point at the beginning of last year, my husband said, I really need to have a date night with you in a regular interval. We live in New York City. We love going out to eat. It's not as enjoyable with a young child. And so we implemented this date night. It is definitely a luxury. It is definitely an expense. We have to hire a babysitter. We're usually going out to a nice dinner. I want to commit. We've kind of fallen off the wagon on it in the fall and over the holidays. I want to commit to 2 times a month doing a date night with my husband. I think we can do it. We both want to. That I think will be a really easy one to achieve. The next goal as our little insular family is I want to have a family dinner 4 nights a week. Now, weekend time is pretty precious around here and sacred, and we're together pretty much the whole weekend. But during the week, it gets really crazy between activities and work schedules. And so we have fallen into this routine where I'm sitting down with our son kind of earlier in the evening before my husband gets home and having dinner with him. And then I'll actually eat with my husband later on in the evening when he gets home from work. I want to try to sit down as a family 4 times a week and eat dinner. That will include the weekends, but if we can squeeze in 1 or 2 nights between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to eat as a family, I think it's a really important habit to build and something that I want my son to grow up as a core experience. The third goal as a family is I want to take 2 sort of technology detox vacations. When my husband and I travel together, or when we travel together as a family, we often are still kind of quote unquote on call. And so I would love to really kind of take 2 times where we're like, listen, we're not on call. We are not answering email. We're not attached to our phones. And we're really sort of in the moment on vacation. So I would like to do 2 of those this year. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be weeks long, but really intentional, just together time. I want to do 1 time a month girls' dinner. I do this with some of my core friends, and it is absolutely soul feeding. I need it. I need my girl time. And I want to make sure that I lock in one time a month my girls' dinner. So, those are my family and relationship goals. Next, work and business. This is the one that most of us spend time thinking about and, quite frankly, stressing about. But I want you to get specific. What do you want your business to achieve this year? What kind of revenue, what kind of profit do you want? Are you launching something new? Do you want to raise your prices? Do you need to build systems? Because maybe your offers and everything is great, but your system is where the falling down happens. Do you need to hold better boundaries? Let's not make vague intentions here. I really want to make some decisions. When it comes to revenue and profit, if you have not gotten my enough number, which we do in our membership group, it is very clarifying to help you figure out how much money you need your business to make and how much profit you want to get out of your business. It's a whole exercise. I did an episode about it, so I will link back to that. But let's spend some time thinking about these high level goals that we want to achieve in our business this year. Okay. So, here are my goals for this year. And again, we are going to dig into quarterly goals to break some of this down, but at a high level, I really want to do an in person event this year, probably in the fall. I've been thinking about it for a while. I love community. I think there's so much magic that happens in person. So, in the fall, I want to host an in person, I don't know what it is yet, a conference, a workshop, a maybe a retreat, TBD, but I want to do something big and in person. The second thing I'm doing this year is I am really focusing on profit in my business so that I can invest that profit. Last year, I spent a lot of money in my business, kind of building the foundation. I built systems, I hired some copy editors, some coaches. This year, I really need to double down on making sure that I am focusing on profit in my business. The third goal I have is I want to partner with bigger brands as sponsors for my podcast, for some of the events that I want to do. I would love to have some scholarship opportunities for women who want to join my membership and financially it's not feasible for them. And I feel like the right sponsor, the right partner, the right underwriter will get a ton of value from what we're doing at Honeybees Group and Girls Make Bank, and also be able to allow us to do more and serve a good community of people that need support. And then the fourth thing, I'm doing an episode about this, is consistency. I want to build consistency in my business. And this really starts with my own behavior. And so we will talk about that. But this is kind of like a personal growth and a work and business goal hybrid. The fourth goal in this planning is your money and your dreams. So this starts to get fun. Is there a dream bucket that you have? Yes, you want your business to make more money now, but for what? Are you paying off debt? Are you saving for a home? Are you starting a college fund? Do you want to take a sabbatical? Do you want to buy back your time? Really start thinking about what the dream is behind the number that you have in your mind. So write down 3 to 4 goals that you have for your money and your dreams. This can be a specific number. This can be a goal that you're working towards. This could be a, future state. I need to save X to help me do Y in 3 years. For this bucket, really think about how money can fuel your life or what that future dream life looks like and start to map it out. So I'm doing that now. Okay. So I have 2 goals here and I need to come up with a third. And this is where, you get some flexibility where I want to be thoughtful. Money goals and dream goals, this is a big thing. So I'm going to take a little bit more time to think about this, but I have One of the goals that I've put down here that I think is worth mentioning is to create a 5-year financial plan for our family and set up quarterly financial family meetings with my husband. We don't always, we have really open communication about money, but it would be great to set aside dedicated time where we're reviewing things together and talking together about our money or our dreams. Maybe that's why I'm having a hard time with this bucket, is I feel like he really needs to weigh in on this. And so I want to do that. And now this is making me think I need to do that sooner rather than later so I can fill out this bucket. Okay, so those are our 4 buckets: personal growth and learning, family and relationships, work and business, and money and dreams. Now, before we move on, I want to do something that a lot of people skip, and that is, what are you letting go of this year? Because every time we set a new goal or do something new, we are creating space to release something. And so let's take a couple minutes to talk about what did not work last year. Were there offers in your business that didn't sell, that didn't make money, or that maybe did not feel aligned with you? Are there relationships that have drained you, memberships or commitments that no longer serve you? Maybe it's habits within yourself that you know you need to shift. So, are you procrastinating? Are you overlooking things? Are you overworking? Are you saying yes when you really mean to say no? So, let's get honest with ourselves and talk about or think about what is not coming into 2026 with us and give ourselves permission to release it. Because, who you want to be in December comes down to like the intentions and what is weighing us down and being able to release it right now. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a couple minutes and really think about what I want to let go of in 2026. Here are a few things I'm letting go of. I've talked about some of this. Social media scrolling as a way of decompressing. Goodbye. I don't need it. I'm going to pick up a book instead, or listen to a podcast, do something more productive. Procrastination. I am excellent at procrastinating, like gold medal procrastinator right here. I am working on not procrastinating. Okay, so these are our goals. This is what we're letting go of. And so here's what I want you to do next. If you're listening to this, save this episode and go back and look at the goals and the buckets that you have put together for 2026 and see if anything that we talked about shifts what you're doing a little bit. In each bucket, create 3 to 4 goals max. Keep them big picture. And then write down the stuff that you are letting go of. Okay? What are we releasing? The big takeaway that I want you to have this week is that you are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time. This is still early in the game for 2026. This is your year. If you have not set goals, if you feel like you are walking into this year already with chaos, take a deep breath, center yourself, and give yourself some time to really think about what it is you want to achieve this year, not just in work, but in your life also, and map it out. Okay? You have this. Let's start the year from a place of clarity and not chaos. If you want any help figuring this out, or if you have questions, please send me a note, share this, like, follow, subscribe if you think this is helpful for anyone in your life, any women entrepreneurs or female founders, or anyone in general. I appreciate you. I am rooting for you, and I am excited to walk with you in 2026. Let's get to it. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Make Bank. If you like what you've heard, please remember to subscribe, like, and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Please review and share our show to help spread the word and help your girls make bank. And I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram, or visit honeybeesgroup.co. Until next time, friends.